Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and this feels like the fourth unboxing I've done in under a week. It doesn't feel like the fourth unboxing I've done in under a week. It absolutely is the fourth unboxing I've done in under a week. This is Skyrim. We're going to be doing Skyrim the Adventure Game. Diving into this, as usual, coffee shot and knife shot and all that stuff. We're going to be diving into Skyrim over here, and like I said already, this is the fourth one. I have ISS Vanguard I did Mosaic, I did Dark Souls, which is definitely, technically 2 unboxings, so arguably this is the 5th, but let's count Dark Souls as 1. It's been too much, and the problem is with many of these games, I want to dive into them. Well, with ISS, I probably had time, but that's a big box, I want to get that one done. With Dark Souls, I wanted to play it, and with Mosaic, I wanted to play it, and with Skyrim, I wanted to play it. Yes, as usual, my eyes are bigger than my stomach, not just in the games I get, but in the time I think I have to play them. Basically. But this is an unboxing and rambling. If you're new to the channel, this is where I go ahead and dive into, well, talking about the game to whatever degree I can, but also talking about whatever kind of comes to mind. In the case of Elder Scrolls and Skyrim, this is from Modiphius. Modiphius has a few games to be aware of. Well, they have a few games to be aware of in general. What I mean is there's a few games that I'm going to be talking about as far as your awareness. The first is they have Skyrim. This is the box in front of me that I reviewed, I played, I've covered. I really enjoyed it when I played it online. Only played on TTS because doing the Kickstarter, they only had TTS coverage. And so Skyrim over here, the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, the adventure game from Bethesda, from Modiphius, and this is one that's going to have, they're also going to have another Elder Scrolls from Chip 3 Games, from Too Many Bones, and oh no, I have damage on the side of my box. Over here, small damage over here, not a big deal at all. Just annoying. Maybe from the casual way I just tossed the box around over here. But this is what we have over here. This is what we have over here in the box. We'll go through all this shortly. We got plastic bags galore. We have things that will go in the plastic bags. We'll talk about all of that in a minute. The second game to be aware of is Spectre. I believe it's called Spectre. It's a James Bond game. I have it somewhere on a shelf here. Or under my desk here. Things are getting messier. As I fall further and further behind, things are getting messier. And it's not like I'm not doing things. I'm doing things. I just, at the end of the day, doing things or not, there's always more stuff to do. There's more games to play. There's more games to cover. There's more things to unbox. There's more topics to discuss. There's always plenty of things to do and never enough time to do them. But diving to this over here, again, we have Skyrim. We'll go back to this. We'll talk about Spectre. We'll talk about Homeworld. We'll talk Homeworld's the third one. We'll talk about all of this. But we have two books over here. No, wait, 3 books? No, 2 books. 2 books over here. We have the Adventure Game Tutorial, which is nice. And honestly, by the way, I remember printing out like 70 pages of various content for this. This is a lot easier. But I played this game. I've gone through this. I know how to play the game. I know the basics. The game is actually fairly easy to follow for the most part, but you kind of do have to read the full rules to dive into it all. This was a fun game. I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed it with the casual nature that I've been enjoying games like Role Player. Why is this upside down? Why is this upside down? What's happening here? Okay, I got this. We have the tutorial book over here, the Adventure Game Tutorial over here, and then we have the Adventure Game Scenario book over here. Okay, that works. I'm not averse to that. Then we have the Adventure Game Rulebook over here, which is like 56 pages. Wow, this is thin pages. These are thin pages. 56 pages, although lots of, icon heavy over here. And I'll go through more and more. This is pretty, I remember being this is very easy to go through. I remember there's 60-page rulebooks I have struggled through, and there's 60-page rulebooks I have not. This was in the not category. This is a very easy read, lots of icons, very clear. Overall, this was pretty easy to go through as far as the game goes. And this is the map that you'll be playing on as you go through the actual game. Wandering around the board, we'll show you all of that shortly. But this was a game that I enjoyed. I liked it in the same way that I like I said, role-play adventures. And what other games are there? I'm trying to remember the other games there are. Trudvang to a degree, but I prefer role-play adventures to Trudvang, although I'm curious how this one will hold up for me after, because I only played the first scenario. That's all they had on TTS. And that's maybe 2.5 to 3 hours of gameplay. But there's a lot more to go into, which I did not have the opportunity to do so. But either way, so let's talk about these over here. These are going to be your player boards as far as these. These are when you track your stats of the players. In general, I didn't love the iconography and art of the game, but sometimes it's the downside of working with IPs. You're limited to whatever kind of IP approval they'll give you. Less room for creativity, which makes things like Roxley. When you had Roxley Marvel Dice Throne, that's very impressive. Like they let basically who's the artist for it? Oh my gosh, who's the artist for Roxley? Jeez, Andrew Bosley? I feel like it's Andrew Bosley. I think, but whoever the artist was for Roxley, Andrew Bosley's someone else. No. Oh my gosh, who's the artist for Roxley for Dice Throne? Dice Stone is illustrated by Manny Tremblay. Manny Tremblay, I'm sorry. Sorry, Manly. But they let him draw everything, which is very impressive as far as, usually they don't let people do that kind of creative license when it comes to IPs. It's one of my pet peeves with Steamforge. There's been a lot of their games, I don't love the art or the presentation, but they're limited to IP approval rights, and so it is what it is. But over here we have your save boxes for the various players. We have our board box, our player boxes, so we have 4 boxes for the players, 1 box for the board. No idea how this is all fitting back in the box. We'll figure all that out as we go through this. Over here we have the actual board. We still haven't gotten to Homeworld. We've barely talked about Spectre. So here we go. Here's the board over here. I don't even know if I'm going to bother trying to open up the whole thing. It wouldn't fit on camera anyway. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Let's open some more of this. We get a little bit more over here. Here we go. Here's your player board, your map of the world. We have Winterhold. We have Windhelm. You're going to be marching around the board. Whiterun. It's actually nice to have this physically in front of me. And it looks like they've changed the location of some things. I don't remember the setup being exactly like this, but it's nice to have this board in front of me. The only time I played this game, like I mentioned already, was on TTS. I didn't even have the luxury of a prototype. It was all TTS coverage as far as the game goes. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going through it. This is... What do we dive into? Let's go back to Spectre. So Spectre is a game that I have no real interest in. It looks okay, I just don't have an interest in the theme. Like, the theme is like very James Bondy, old-time James Bondy. And listen, I'm interested, semi-interested, but not overly interested in it. But I'll be diving into that at some point. And then we have Homeworld. Homeworld's going to be almost like a Memoir 44 style game of like head-to-head with ships and battle, based on the video game Homeworld. And they're going to be bringing that to Kickstarter, I believe, coming soon. That one I'm very interested in. I like Memoir 44 in general. I like Battle Lore more. I'm curious to see what Homeworld does differently to make itself stand out. Over here we have the token trays. The punch boards over here. Also, I apologize. I sometimes forget to do this. This is an unboxing and no, I think I did warn you. I did warn you. If you're new to the channel, this is an unboxing and rambling. Rambling means I talk about anything that comes to mind in any way, shape, or form. Also, if you're new here, please like, subscribe, and stick around for all the chaos. Anyways, punch boards. We have our punch boards with lots of small tokens. Not very impressive looking small tokens, although we do have, this is the part that's fun. We have skills and abilities. These are all going to be the skills and abilities that go into your board in some way, shape, or form. That's always fun, because why not? Then there's going to be a whole card interaction system that we're going to go through. This is what we have. This is what we have for the player box over here. Let's show you what we've got. We have these trays, which look kind of cheap, all things considered, but they do the job, or seemingly do the job. We have some miniatures that are falling apart. Oh my gosh, I don't know what we have over here. Do we not have any miniatures for enemies, or are they underneath? No, there's no miniatures. Were miniatures for enemies only a stretch goal? This is like wave 1, if I recall correctly. I'm pretty sure this is just wave 1. We have our box, we have our tokens, we have our trays, but I'm pretty sure this is all wave 1 content. We do have some miniatures, not a ton of miniatures. Are these the heroes? Are these the good guys? Do we even have good guys in this world? How does this all work? I don't even know. Did they design this so that any person goes in any spot? That's pretty cool, actually. If they did it that way. I don't know if they did, but we'll show you this all shortly. It works. It does the job. They do all fit. We'll come back to the miniatures last, keep you, teased for whatever. Although, of course, timestamps to jump to whatever section you want. Over here, we're going to have the dice. The combat. My least favorite part of the game. And combat really was my least favorite part of the game. I thought combat was okay, not inspiring. It was totally fine. It's more the sense of journey, the sense of adventure, the sense of just one more turn the game had. That's, if I recall correctly, I could be wrong. If I recall correctly, that's what I titled my review. Like, just one more turn, I think. First impressions, not review. But I had that sense of it as I played. I always want to take one more turn, to do one more thing, to travel to one more location, to interact with one more quest, to find the next sequence in the story as you go through the game. Don't know what these are. I assume for various player tokens or whatnot in the game. We'll see. But then we have lots of cards. Cards that the art, again, art's from the video game, doesn't overly pull me in, but we have a whole bunch of things. How do I do this? We have my knife, we have my handy dandy knife, which is great because these don't have pull tabs. Note to whoever's getting this game, there are no pull tabs, grab a knife. Now, I'm not complaining about that. I've mentioned in other unboxings, I don't love pull tabs in general. I find that they sometimes let you damage cards in a way that I'd rather just cut the thing open myself and know that it's open. So, we have some weapons over here, some Orcish Greatsword. This is going to be the two-handed block. I'm trying to remember how the system works. We have two-handed sections. Oh, you need certain icons to power up the attack, and those icons will deal certain types of damage, which depend on the various characters' defense, if I recall correctly. We have the Amulet of the Assassin. Gain a die when fighting different types of enemies over there. The Orcish Boots. Gain a die for parry and block actions. Can't use dodge or sneak, so you see those boots are going to make it hard to dodge or sneak. We have Elven Armor, which will give you sneak as well as these extra stats. I don't remember everything here. I remember like these chains of different types of actions you can activate against enemies. I remember there's an ambush concept. You can go ahead and get an easy kill on somebody. Overall, cards, weapons, items, all stuff from Elder Scrolls. If you've played Elder Scrolls, some of this stuff will be familiar. If you haven't played Elder Scrolls, well, I don't see how it would be familiar. What did I play? Let's go back to my own experience of things. I heavily dove into, not Skyrim, what was one before Skyrim? The Elder Scrolls. The Elder Scrolls 4. What was it called? What was the fourth Elder Scrolls called? Now it's going to bother me. But Elder Scrolls 4, before Skyrim, I heavily dove into whatever that one was called. I played tons and tons of hours, sneaking around, going into caves, lighting up torches, using my lockpicks and failing in different ways. I played a ton of that game. I don't remember what it's called. Oblivion. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That's what it's called. Thank you. But anyways, then I dove into Skyrim, and I definitely spent time in Skyrim, but I think Skyrim was coming out more when I was starting to age out of video games. Age out sounds like the wrong terminology. I don't believe in aging out of video games. I think video games are fantastic, and you can play them for however long you want. What I mean is I was getting married and had a job and kids coming and all that stuff, and just had less time for them. And so I was playing fewer video games as I got older. And so Skyrim I only played a little bit going back in, and that was back when I was still trying Guild Wars 2, I believe, right around then. So I still was playing video games, but not quite as much. More items, glass bows, leather helmets, all these fun stuff over here. But, yeah, I don't know why I'm bothering to go through all these cards. I can open these all later, too. In any case, going back to Skyrim. So I played Skyrim, not as much. I remember bumping down that road in the cart, being in that jail cell, starting to interact with the citizens, leveling up in different ways, the dragons, the encounters. I remember it was a good game. I probably spent 15, 20 hours in it, not the hundreds of hours you easily could. In any case, we're still waiting on Elder Scrolls 6 at this point, aren't we? These are going to be your enchantments and or upgrades. These either enchant different things or they upgrade different things depending on how you slide them. You'll unlock these in different ways. You have the opportunity to trade them in or to use them as the enchantment or upgrades. Again, lots of cards and lots of things in this. I think I've gone through enough in terms of the general just cards showing you stuff there. But yeah, I like Elder Scrolls. I like the Elder Scrolls. Again, Oblivion was awesome. Spent tons of time there. And the other one, Skyrim, spent less time, but still time in that world. I don't know what this pack of cards is. I don't know what this pack of cards is at all. I'm not going to open this just based on the way they have these separately packaged. I'm a drop worry that if I open this, I'm going to screw something up, so I'm not going to mess with this. We do have some sort of foil card. Foil cards or treatment. Maybe I'll open. I literally just said I'm not going to open it. And actually, funnily enough, I was reading a comment on one of my earlier unboxings, which is, in every Alex unboxing ever, grand statement of something, whatever. Next after that, a statement that undermines the first statement. So I'm not going to open this. I'm going to mess it up. Immediately followed by, I'm going to go ahead and open this. But I want to show you the fact that these are foil cards. I don't know how well you can see that glimmer, but these have a small glimmer to it. It's actually very nice. Like, I don't know how well it picks up on camera, but it works very nicely as far as in person because it's just glimmery enough to be shiny and pretty without being so glimmery enough as to be distracting. Solid job on the glimmer on the foil cards over here. What are they for? No idea. Don't remember anything about this. Again, this is one where they did have, I'm 99% sure there's more content for this game, like 99.999% sure there's more content for this game, all coming later. Like, there definitely were stacks of miniatures to go through in different ways. Here we have some player aids, we have some, whatever these are, dividers, I guess, and then more cards. Again, I'm hesitant to open too much in case I mess stuff up. But let's go ahead and open this over here, or pull this out at the very least. We can pull out this card divider, which has chunks full of cards over here. Just rows and rows full of cards. No idea what they actually do. Again, wary of opening or messing up the order even. Let's go ahead and grab one. We have war quests. We have these quests. We have this system. Basically, I'm not going to open up all these cards. I'll open up this one pack. That way I can't mess things up because it's one pack that I'm opening and not everything else. I'll go through the rest properly, organizing it later, going through the rules, starting to dive into the game. I don't know when I'm doing it. There's so many games. I'm so behind. I forgot Darkest Dungeon. Oh my gosh. So many games I'm trying to play. I just don't have enough time for them all. I'm still playing a ton. I'm playing a ton of stuff. There's just not enough time in the day for all the games. Now, this is going to be a little out of order, so minor spoilers at best as far as this goes, but you're going to have these giant decks of cards with these numbers in the corner. The numbers in the corner, and you're going to be referencing those cards, different things tell you to reference them, and then they'll give you certain small missions. So we have the Orc Stew Part 2 mission over here, which will have different objectives in them, and then the other side, again, no real spoilers, I'm not really showing you much, you'll have success and failures that will drive you to different things, and then you go ahead and find another card. So, for example, this one says, grab card 85 and shuffle into the top 4 cards of the event deck. So depending on how different encounters go on, you're adding things to the world around you, and you're adding more sequences as far as the stories you're unlocking. It really did a very solid job of just being compelling. Not the best game ever. Did not feel like the best game ever. I think this is mostly it as far as the unboxing goes, by the way. There's some miniatures, but not a lot left to go over here. But it's not the best game ever. Not by a long shot. but it was solidly compelling, kept me engaged, and had that sense of just one more turn. This is the kind of thing I would play through solo, of just exploration-based. Kind of go on a mission, explore, level up, gather some stuff, try not to have the world die around you, encounter different things, like grab more stats, go on another bit of a dungeon dive, and deal with the baddies and whatnot, wander to that location, grab this aspect, steal that horse, be barred from that location, make this choice, trade off there, do a successful, try a different test on this character. That character runs away, you have to now deal with this character, you have to break down the door, you have to betray them. All these different story arcs they went through that really just made you feel like you were on an adventure. Coffee. But it made you feel like you're on an adventure in a very solid way. These miniatures, by the way, are better than I remember the campaign being. The campaign didn't inspire me as far as the miniatures go. But we have this over here. So over here you can kind of see, it's not like amazing, but it's a solid miniature. Does the job. That's going to be one miniature. Then we have two over here. Slowly zooming in there. I remember this one from the campaign. Having a hard time zooming there. There we go. Yep. Solid miniature, all things considered. I say all things considered a lot sometimes. It's not, I think I've been saying it less as time went on because doing these YouTube videos made me realize certain things I was saying more often. But all things considered, I've slowed down a bit on that one. Here's two more miniatures over here. And they're okay. They're not amazing, but they are, I think because I expected them to be worse because of the campaign was, well, not overly inspiring as far as the miniatures looked. I think these inherently look better because of that. There's some sort of a Fireballs character, a spellcaster, as well as this guy who just looks very frowny faced at us, but frowny faces is fine. So we have frowny face dude and spellcaster dude. There we go. As far as these guys go, there we go. And showing you the whole miniature over there. Yeah, solid miniatures. They do the job. Yeah, I almost said all things considered again. Sorry for that. In any case, that's going to be what we have for the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, the adventure game, which has a ton of cards, a ton of tokens I'll have to punch out and figure out where everything goes. I do not think this is the best insert ever, but I'll figure it all out as I go through this. And I'm curious to see how the deck boxes, those save boxes, will store. I'm curious if they will store at all well or not really, because right now they're flat. Easier to store them when they're flat. We'll see how they do when they are less flat. But this is one I'd love to dive into. The thing that scares me the most about it, honestly... Ooh, plastic bags. Don't forget the plastic bags. The thing that scares me the most about this game right now is really just the setup and the cards. Like, I'm going to have to go through and just start the setup process and figure out if it does or doesn't work. But I remember the basics of how to play. The basics. I kind of have to refresh myself on the rules, but the tutorial honestly might be enough. Because I remember the core systems at play. The real question is, where does this fit in terms of the fact that I'm trying to play this, I'm trying to play Dark Souls, I'm trying to play Mosaic, and 50 other games. Those are just the ones that are currently top of mind. In any case, that is your Elder Scrolls V Skyrim unboxing. A game I really enjoyed, a game I'm happy to dive back into, a game I hope to dive back into. The problem is it's more than just a single game I need. I need like hours and hours of being able to sit down and play this game, and I hope I can find those hours sooner rather than later. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.